Have you ever been afraid you'd lose something that can't be bought, that if you truly became wealthy? Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, Epictetus. True wealth isn't about having more. It's about wanting less. Look at this picture. Really, look, what do you see? A beautiful apartment. Designer bags, quiet trophies of success. A life full of everything we were taught to crave. But look closer. Look into her eyes. Do you see it? That familiar emptiness. A silent chill. Beneath all this abundance. We live in a world, especially in the West, in American culture, where women are constantly handed a promise and a burden. You can have it all. And while this story feels loudest in America, it's the quiet pressure our modern world puts on all of us to keep succeeding, keep owning, keep proving. It's the script of modern culture. Be the powerful CEO, the perfect mother, have the dream body, and the full bank account. But deep inside, there's a quiet paradox tearing us apart. So many of us, standing right at the edge of real success, feel something unexpected: fear. We're not afraid to fail. We're afraid to succeed. We're afraid that if we truly have it all, we'll lose the one thing that truly matters: ourselves. We fear losing that simple, kind, loved version of who we were, trading it for someone wealthier, but distant, alone. If outer abundance doesn't bring inner peace, then what are we really missing? Think of the woman who worked tirelessly. She reached the financial stability her younger, poorer self once dreamed of. But instead of celebrating, she felt a guilt she couldn't name, a kind of survivor's guilt in finance. Why do I deserve this when the people I love are still struggling? She started avoiding old friends. She feared their eyes, their judgment. She dreaded hearing, "You've changed." She feared her family would look at her differently, as if she'd betrayed her roots. She feared losing that image of being good, humble, one of them. This fear exists everywhere, but it runs deepest in cultures that value independence, like America, where, ironically, a woman's financial freedom can still be called cold, aggressive, or materialistic. And then there's another kind of fear, a quieter one, the story of the self-made woman. She came from nothing. The struggle was her fuel. The lack was her fire. Now she's made it, and she's terrified. She's not afraid of what people think. She's afraid of herself. She fears that if she truly accepts she's enough, she'll lose her fire, her drive. She fears success will make her soft, lazy, meaningless. She's identified with the struggle for so long. She's come to fear peace. I used to think that if I stopped struggling, I'd stop being myself. And I forgave myself for that fear. This is the invisible cost of success. Whether it's the first story, the fear of being exiled from your tribe, or the second, the fear of losing your warrior identity, they're both invisible cages. And this isn't just about women. In a society obsessed with surface-level equality, anyone who rises too high, in wealth or in talent, risks being pulled down by the crowd. It's the crab in a bucket syndrome, the shared fear of success in our time. The fear that money will turn us into strangers, outsiders, or slackers. And so, to stay connected, to stay safe, to protect who we think we are, we quietly reject abundance. We sabotage our own success. If part 2 was the wound, then this is the healing. This is where Stoic philosophy brings us liberation. Epictetus, a man who was once a slave, understood the true nature of freedom. He said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Reflect deeply on that. Being rich is not about having more. It's about needing less. Rich does not mean having more. It means needing less. Financial freedom begins with freedom from desire. Epictetus gives us freedom. He reminds us that true wealth is an inner state. It is sovereignty. It doesn't come from holding or owning. It comes from no longer being controlled by the desire to possess or the fear of losing. Seneca, another Stoic, a man of immense wealth, gives us practice. He also said, "The poor man is not the one who has too little, but the one who craves more." Seneca never asked us to live in deprivation. He owned great wealth, but he practiced possessing without being possessed. He taught us to look at what we own and say, "One day, all of this will be gone, and I'll still be fine." That is how he kept his mind free from what he owned. And finally, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, gives us strength. Sitting on the throne of the most powerful empire in the world, he reminded himself in meditations that all these external things, power, wealth, praise, judgment, are merely opinions. Your true worth comes from your inner citadel, the place where only your reason and your virtue reign. When you have money, yet still worry, still feel guilt and fear, you are still a slave to money, to social judgment, to your own fears. A woman who understands her true worth, whether she's in New York, Paris, Tokyo, or Hanoi, is already the richest woman alive. Why? Because she doesn't let money define her value. She can use money, enjoy money, give money, but she is not her money. Her soul is free. And that is the ultimate wealth. That is the inner citadel that no one and nothing can touch. Now, sit up straight, take a deep breath, and be honest with yourself. We're going to face the old scripts, the inherited stories that have been holding you back. Write down, truthfully, 5 beliefs you've heard or told yourself. Women who make a lot of money end up lonely. The rich are selfish and greedy. If I have more, it means someone else will have less. If I become rich and comfortable, I'll get lazy and lose my drive. Money is dirty. A spiritual person shouldn't care about money. Now, we won't just look at them. We'll decode and transform them, one belief at a time. Belief 1. Women who make a lot of money end up lonely. This is the fear of exile. It comes from centuries of conditioning. The idea that a woman's worth lies in connection and sacrifice, while a man's worth lies in achievement. So when a woman achieves, society, and she herself, fears she'll lose her connection. But money is neutral. It cannot make you lonely. Judgment, yours and others, is what makes you lonely. Your true worth lies in your virtue, your kindness, your compassion, your wisdom. Money does not take these away. Money only amplifies who I am. If I value connection, money gives me the means to connect deeper, to give more freely. Loneliness is a choice, not a condition of wealth. If you feel resistance or discomfort hearing this, that's a good sign. It means you're touching the root. Keep going. Belief 2. The rich are selfish and greedy. This is a generalization born of anger or envy. Yes, some rich people are greedy, and some poor people are greedy too. Greed is a human flaw, not a property of money. Stoicism draws a clear line. There are the wealthy like Nero, cruel, enslaved by desire, and the wealthy like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, virtuous, masters of desire. Money is neutral. Money is a tool. I choose to use this tool with virtue. My generosity and integrity define me, not my bank balance. Belief 3. If I have more, it means others will have less. This is the core scarcity mindset. It sees the world as a fixed pie. Its origin goes back to the primal era, when resources, food territory, were finite. In today's knowledge and value economy, wealth is not a fixed pie. When you create a product, a service, an idea of value that you're not taking from anyone, you're adding to society. A software founder creates new value and is rewarded. I create value. My abundance is evidence of the value I contribute. When I succeed with integrity, I create opportunities and expand the pie for others. If you feel some discomfort or resistance to this, that's a good sign. It means you're touching the root. Keep going. Belief 4. If I become rich, I'll get lazy and lose my drive. This is the fear of the warrior identity. You've equated motivation with desperation. You're so used to running from the bear that you panic when there's no bear to run from. Stoic motivation doesn't come from outer lack, but from inner purpose. You work not to have, but because it aligns with your right nature, what you are called to do. Wealth simply frees you from working to survive, so you can focus on working for your mission. My drive doesn't come from fear, it comes from purpose. Abundance gives me the freedom to pursue bigger aims, to contribute more deeply, not to stop. Belief 5. Money is dirty. A spiritual person shouldn't care about money. This is a false dualism. The belief that material and spiritual are enemies. It often comes from misread religion or judgment toward those who use money for harm. Money is neutral. It's simply energy. As Seneca said, a philosopher may own wealth, so long as he is not owned by it. Epictetus, a slave, and Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, were both great Stoics. Their material circumstances did not define their wisdom. Spirituality is living with awareness in every domain, including finances. Money in the hands of a conscious person is a tool for healing, service, and creation. I allow spirituality and material abundance to coexist within me. Look again at these 5 new beliefs. You don't have to fight the old ones. You only need to recognize them. Thank them for trying to protect you. And when you dare to face them with the light of awareness, you begin to strip them of their power. You begin to free yourself. Now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release all judgment, all guilt, all fear. Imagine a stream of warm golden light spreading from your chest through your whole body. This is abundance, the fullness that has always lived within you. It is not your bank account. It is the feeling of safety, wholeness, and stillness. It is permission. Let yourself be immersed in this light and repeat silently in your mind or out loud. Feel your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, your heart open. I allow myself to be both abundant and whole. I am not afraid to become wealthy. My wealth doesn't define me. It amplifies my core values. I am worthy of abundance because my existence is already enough. I will use this abundance to spread value, to love, and to heal. When you stop fearing abundance, you don't just become wealthier, you become a lighter for those who are still afraid. And today, you have turned that light on from within.